A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a sweeping move that has sent shockwaves through the diplomatic community, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has initiated plans to lay off approximately 1,300 employees from the State Department. This drastic measure is part of the Trump administration's broader strategy to overhaul American diplomacy, with a focus on scaling back efforts to promote democracy and combat human rights abuses globally. The announcement comes as part of a memo issued Thursday, which stated that American diplomats and civil servants will be receiving layoff notices in the coming days. Rubio has previously indicated that the department's workforce would be reduced by more than 15%, equating to around 2,000 positions, in an effort to eliminate what he describes as a bloated bureaucracy that hinders innovation and misallocates resources. Critics of the administration's actions have voiced their concerns regarding the potential ramifications of such cuts. Francisca Vigod-Walsh, Director of Advocacy and Strategy at the Center for Engagement and Advocacy in the Americas, warned that the reduction in personnel will severely impact efforts to address human rights violations and humanitarian crises worldwide. According to Vigod-Walsh, the layoffs will strip away essential expertise and institutional memory, ultimately putting countless lives at risk. Former State Department diplomat Uzra Zeya, who now leads Human Rights First, described the mass layoffs as a Friday morning massacre, emphasizing that the cuts would lead to a significant abandonment of human rights reformers abroad, a cessation of conflict resolution support, and a retreat from U.S. humanitarian leadership. Zeya's comments highlight the grave consequences that these layoffs could have on international efforts to combat dictatorship, war, and human trafficking. The layoffs are set to affect both civil servants and foreign service officers, with notices being delivered to over 1,000 domestic employees and an additional 246 foreign service officers. Those targeted will be placed on administrative leave for 120 days before their formal termination. The separation period for most civil servants will be 60 days. The memo regarding the layoffs indicated that these reductions are part of a departmental reorganization aimed at streamlining domestic operations to better focus on diplomatic priorities. The cuts largely target bureaus dedicated to promoting human rights and democracy, including the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, as well as the Bureau for Conflict and Stabilization Operations. The Supreme Court recently ruled in favor of the Trump administration, allowing mass firings across 19 federal agencies, thereby clearing the way for the State Department to proceed with its plans. Rubio defended the restructuring efforts, stating that the aim is to create a more efficient department rather than to eliminate personnel. He argued that with the closure of certain bureaus, the positions associated with them would no longer be necessary. In a broader context, the Trump administration has been actively pursuing a government-wide initiative to reduce the workforce and dismantle entire agencies. This includes the U.S. Agency for International Development, which has been absorbed into the shrinking State Department. The Independent previously reported that $250 million from refugee services is being redirected to incentivize immigrants to leave the U.S., further illustrating the administration's shift in focus. As the State Department braces for these significant changes, the implications of the layoffs are still unfolding. Many are left questioning how these reductions will affect the U.S.'s role on the global stage, particularly regarding its commitment to human rights and humanitarian efforts. The administration's approach has drawn criticism from various quarters, with advocates warning that the cuts signal a retreat from the U.S.'s traditional leadership in promoting democracy and protecting human rights around the world. The coming days will be critical as the department communicates with those affected by the cuts, and as the international community watches closely to see how these changes will reshape U.S. diplomacy in the years to come. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.